Second quarter about to get underway in the 2019 QAFL Grand Final. And we've got a contest. The Demons got the jump. They've got a 3-goal lead as we head towards the second quarter. 5-2-32 to 2-2-14. Riley Star 8, Nick Davis and Julian Vanderdries with us this afternoon. And Jules, great opening quarter from the Ds.
It was real free-flowing footy there. They're taking things on. They're playing like there's no tomorrow, the Ds. But you just know that this Palm Beach side that's been so dominant over the last few years are going to hit back.
They certainly will. So, second quarter gets underway, and I think that will be recalled. Now, one thing that has been really impressive is that in that opening quarter, the Demons' clearance work was outstanding. That was lacking a bit last time these two sides met. But I think they're enjoying the wider spaces of Metricon Stadium compared to Sulk Oval as Crode. Well, he gets the first clearance of the second quarter, sends it towards a 2-on-2. That's a mark in about 20 metres out, which has been taken from Nicholas Crowley. It was a fantastic grab as Brody Haverfield and Jack Anthony have a what have you. But nonetheless, Nick Crowley, he'll have the first shot of the second quarter. He'll kick it from about 25 metres out.
Well, that was every bit the contested mark, wasn't it? That's what you want from the big fella as Nick Crowley walks in deliberately onto the right boot, punches the low 7 iron straight through the middle.
But he certainly does, so it would be just the start that the Palm Beach Currumbin Lions and coach Jess Sinclair would have wanted. Brings it back to a 2-goal margin. 5-2-32 to 3-2-20. Minute gone, second quarter.
It was a little bit too easy there from the Lions. But then again, the work of Crowd out of the ruck to get his own clearance. But again, dream start for the Lions. Demons might need to tighten it up just a little bit there. So a bit of breeze has picked up. We just feel it blowing towards our commentary box position, where you're viewing the screen from it right now. So always going to come in over the canal, over the Nerang River. So a little bit blustery and could probably favour the Lions this quarter as balls return to the centre of the ground. As umpire Sam Ward get us back underway. Just minute 30 in this second term, the 2019 Grand Final. Ball goes up, Crow's going to go at it again, gets the tap down, bounces down into the path. Tyler Cornish managed to get his hands to it. Good body position there by Crow to lock it in. Hands just almost just scrummed out of there and nicely taken. It's Angus Munro who manages, but it's turned over very quickly. Vanderwerken runs to 45, right foot ball. He's got it. Instant response from this Demons outfit. They go to 6-2 at 38. The Lions at 3-2-20. Perfect response, Julian Vanderdries.
Wow, Munro just got pressured and worried out of that one, didn't he? Normally such a cool customer. So Vanderwerken, but that flying shot on the run is classic Daniel Vanderwerken, isn't it? You see it so much at Sir Bruce Small Park. To see it out at Metricon is a treat. Well done.
It certainly is. Of course, he won goal of the year on Sunday night for his goal against Wilston Grange in round 1 of the season. So that's going way back. But you just know that when he gets the ball, he gets a little bit of space. It's almost impossible to stop him. Lions, a few times this afternoon, they've turned it over when you wouldn't expect it to, and you can put that down to pressure or perceived pressure in what is a very hot environment out there. Is back in the middle. So we're basically back to the status quo of what it was at quarter time, as that will be recalled in the middle.
Crowd looks like they've had a bit of a chat to him at the quarter time break. He's come out firing and he's got a little bit more spring in his step in this ruck contest at the moment, boys.
So back in the middle. You just mentioned he just won the tap down, but Matt Green gets the clearance towards half forward, goes over the back of Troutman. Vanderwerken, McKenzie bumped him off it, but he's still got a kick. Now Green's in a 1-on-2, well done from Emblem. He just floated in the hole beautifully, as he's done so often. I'll head towards Burge. Now, the Lions have actually worked out a +1, but I don't know if that was the kick. Well done from Crow to make it look better. If he goes to Tommy Tyne on the boundary, he had some space, but he doesn't. Instead, he goes down the line. I don't know if I like that option. Woolley got the spoil nonetheless. Crowley, well, he's come out with some attitude. He sends it forward. Anthony in a 1-on-1 against Haberfield. Got the crawl bounce. Bounces inwards, 90 degrees. Cornish misses it. Feeds the hands back. Derek, he'll kick it from here. No, he won't. We're so used to Jesse Derrick being able to convert those shots from half chances, but he missed on that occasion. Brings it back to 17, 6-2 to 3-3.
End-to-end stuff. Great to watch, isn't it? The surface, Vanderwerken has a flying shot up one end. Palm Beach get a couple of possessions and it goes up with an opportunity for PBC's favourite son in Derek. Nick.
So Haberfield's going to bring it back out. You're right. Very easy there for the Lions to get that one out. It's just fisted across the line. And I think Brad Moore might just have a look at that. You're right. That was Palm Beach Currumbin at their very best there. A couple of strong contested marks and just got that footy going forward. So Good signs to start this second term for the Lions. A lot better than their first term. Remember, they were really just outworked and outmuscled, just outsmarted by this Surfers outfit. But now we're returning to parity. So ball about to come back in. We're 65 metres out from the Lions goal. Good work. Well, I was going to say it was a nice ruck work, but he's just pushed him out there. So footy will drop to the hands now of Matthew Green.
So Green has got a bit of space ahead of him to sort of set it up, and he's got it for the leading target. Daniel Green comes in like a bull at a gate. Eames got the spoil. Troutman's immediately wrapped up.
Nick, you mentioned that it's returning to parity for PBC, and with that experience that they've got on every line, you just know that when they're under siege, there's going to be some cool heads to say, hang on a minute, boys, or we saw Emblem down there take a good contested mark. So that's the sort of thing experience does on grand final day.
Well, Matt Green wanted out the ruck, then got tackled, so the Demons still end up with the football. Dangerous hand pass from Harrison, but he fed it to Scott, who showed his all experience and composure. Forward, goes forward, Yellen. Now, Palm Beach have the spare, so he's forced to go short. He does it very nicely. He finds Lafleur about 70 metres out from his attacking goal. Now, he's going to have to look, and it's going to have to be a creative kick because they've now worked two spare, go short, good kick. And Daniel Vanderwerken, he just led to the hole beautifully. He'll have a shot right on the paint.
Yeah, you could just see how they left that space open there to lead into for Vanderwerken. Lafleur was always going to go there. He just checked his kick.
So Vanderwerken, he can send it out to 23 points if he kicks it truly. He comes in, sets it on its way, and he has hooked that badly.
Yeah,
I think he tried to compensate for the distance there and just wheeled around, and he just got a bit of a hook on it. It comes back in the field to play for the Lions.
And don't think that Palmy crowd didn't have something to do with it as well. The Palmy Army, they're out in force this afternoon. They apply the pressure, the line, Crow gets there. Cops a bump from Vanderwerken, and it's seen over the line for a boundary throw in. 17-point ball game, 6 minutes 30 gone in this second term. So we spoke about the D's forward entry earlier in the game, Julian, and we just saw there, just not quite the right option, just a little bit too far out.
Yeah, exactly right. Just a bit of a holding pattern at the moment. The team's getting back into their system. So it's the next 5 minutes will be crucial in deciding who gets a few goals on the board at the moment as Palm Beach kick that one into space, Nick.
And they go back at it again. So a little bit of movement, you're right. Curtis Marsden at the fall of the footy. Couldn't quite get there in time. Now the cavalry arrives. It's Woolley pushing up the ground a little bit. Spills forward. Who's going to get clean hands? Still can't get out of the pack. Slung through. Umpire calls play on. And I think it is now going to come to a rest. So bit of pressure. They're able to escape these stoppages quite nicely, Palm Beach, but it's just getting it going all the way forward. Just falling down a little bit at this half back line.
So big few minutes coming up. Crode wins it down. There's a free kick. It's gone for a hole. It is going to go the way of Crode. Now he's a raking left foot kick normally. And on this occasion, it's no exception. Sends it towards the one-on-one of Anthony and Haberfield. Haberfield does magnificently to force the spoil. It goes towards the boundary, and it's going to be a throw-in. So these one-on-ones between Haberfield and Anthony, I reckon Haberfield's just shading him at the moment.
He just seems to have the hold over him at the moment, but a class player like Jack Anthony, he'll always step up on a day like this, so you can't take your eye off him for a second. You can't give him a metre. As the ball comes back in, tap down, still just bustling around the pack. The Lions need to get one out of here, but first hand's nicely taken there by Yelland. He's really imposed himself around the contest as we have another stoppage. Just over 8 minutes gone, second term. It's the D's still leading by 17 points. This ball goes back up again. Again, still need to take their chances, but they got numbers for the footy first, just throwing the body around now. The Lions, this is good physical pressure as he's wrapped off the footy, manages to take hands on the ground. Somehow they get a possession out of here, but there's a wall of Lions lining up to bomb it back in.
And it's the big man in Jonathan Crode. And he'll basically send it towards the teeth of goal. 1-on-2 in favour of the Demons. They did that beautifully. They've done that a lot this afternoon. Haberfield forced the body pressure on Anthony, and it's sent out a defensive 50, but it comes down to Troutman, breaks the tackle, will send it back in, but again, not the greatest of kicks, good mark, a big contest! And Joshua Matulis, I think he's just collected Harrison there a bit late. I don't think it'll be 50. That's finals football in a nutshell, and Jed Harrison, all courage, all heart. He's going to have a shot for goal to bring it back to 11.
Well, that was really courageous there, just backing back into the flight. But at the same time, I feel like the sun was just in the eyes there. The sun was in the eyes of the Demons defender, and I don't think he can time his run properly. So no real harm doing, nothing too malicious, but at the same time, that's finals courage.
So Harrison, this could be a massive momentum lifting goal for the Lions. From 51, sets it on its way. It's going, it's almost made the distance, coming across though for the Demons beautifully there. Was Green, it's sent out a defensive 50. Well done from McNevin to almost rest it away. The mark's been paid though, and it's going to go the way of Thompson-Smith. So the Demons did brilliantly the scramble and work their way out of trouble as it goes towards the half-back flank, and it's Nick Scott with the footy.
So he's going to look to try and chip it around. Let's get out the far side as Palm Beach, they flood the outer wing. So they're going to have to try and run this one across. It's a dangerous kick, this one. It's going to be chopped off, turnover. It's McCanch back in the side this week. It's a risky kick, just kicked out to the 2-on-1. So now it's a low ball. Jack Anthony, can he take it? Oh, he's plucked it. Jack Anthony at first slip, just raised the right juke and has pulled that one down. And now, you don't want the footy in anyone else's hands. He's going to kick from about 35 metres, you'd say, very slight angle.
And that was classic forward craft, just to find a bit of space, just to work into the hole and just to stick up the mitten, just extract it out of the ant. That's why he played at AFL level for 2 clubs, and that's why he's probably the most fearsome forward in the QAFL.
So Jack Anthony has been paper bagged a little bit this afternoon. Comes in, right foot ball. Oh, he's got it. True class and professionalism from Jack Anthony. He's got his second for the afternoon. The 4th for the Lions, 4-3-27. They trail the D's at 6-2-38, Julio.
Yeah, Nick, so that goal resulted. Surfers trying to exit. You just saw from up here in this high commentary position how well Palm Beach was set up. Surfers were never getting that exit. Sure enough, it came back in, and the kick, Anthony made that kick look great, plucking the one-hander. And of course, he's going to make the most of his opportunities today when he gets a shot inside 50.
He certainly will. I think Paddy Rankin was just a little bit unlucky there to slip over at the inopportune moment, because he probably would have been the one to sort of at least force the pressure on McCanch, but not to be. So it's back to 11. This one is setting itself up to be an absolute classic. Everything that we anticipated it as more. So it'll be Jewel up against Crode in the ruck. So here we go once again, back in the middle. Jewel. Well, he's plucked that one-handed, gets it away, will send it towards half forward, Keels in a 1-on-1, good spoil away there from Munro. The cavalry arrives for the Lions. Stephen Tyne got it to Mackenzie. Mackenzie is immediately wrapped up. Of course, he's wearing the very unique 100 this afternoon. And we'll have a ball up about 75 metres out from the D's attacking goal.
A little bit of showmanship about that, I like that. By the way he operates, but I'm starting to see the Lions are starting to get more numbers of the contest at the same time, so it's a reverse of what we saw in the first term. Every time that footy drops, their young numbers, we're looking at Cornish, we're looking at Askey, they're starting to get dangerous around these packs and contests, so this could signal a slight warning for Surfers Paradise. There's a bit of a breeze picks up as well, just blowing towards your screens at the moment. Big fly over the top, nice tap came down from Crode. As they escape outside the D's, little kick going forward, looking down in the Eames direction. How will it bounce? Eames held a bit, but the Lions got so many numbers at the contest. Now they can try and escape out the far side. A wobbly kick. The D's fans will want to live it, but it'll stay in. Foot races on. It's a 2-on-1. Got to try and beat his man. Spills it through. Nice pick up there by Harrison. Harrison gets it going forward to the left. To the adornment of the party crowd. Was there a push in the back? Not called. As the contest picks up, and both sides of this crowd really getting into this one, Julio.
Yeah, Palm Beach just getting this game back on their terms. You can see their crowd's coming into as well. And if they can play that forward half game and set up across the middle, it might win the territory battle. That's going to prove danger signs for the D's.
And it certainly will. We're just about to get underway. Once again, Crode comes in very late, wins it down Matulus. Well, he's ragdolled there. They've still got away. Prestigar fed a full. Corbett, big contest. He was hit off it. Mackenzie comes in. Dare it. Missed Harrison. Cornish immediately wrapped up. Scott. Crow dumped off the ball. Cornish goes in like a bullet again. They expect nothing less from him. At the bottom of the contest, Prestigar, well, he's thrown off it like a Greco-Roman wrestler. It comes out eventually. Bird sends it towards the one-on-one. Woolley Taylor. Woolley couldn't take it. He's almost got it eventually. Then he tries to extract. Matulus almost got it out. Comes towards Dawson. AJ Dawson. How about that?
What a flying shot at goal there, AJ Dawson. Resulted from this one-on-one contest right in front of us here at the commentary position, boys. Tommy Tyne went hell for leather at Noah Corbett. They collided. Tyne walked off just a little bit worse for wear, but created that goal with that contest to that flying snap by Dawson. Quality stuff.
Well, perfect finish, and weren't the crowd up and about there really gave the double cobra to the whole Surfers Paradise mob. Says we've turned up to play, and now it's just down to 5 points. Only played 15 minutes here in this second term. QAFL Grand Final, first versus second, mouth-watering contest this afternoon, and now we are almost back at parity. So the centre contest has been interesting. I thought the last ball up went a little bit too far askew. A lot better that time. Tap from Jewel, nicely done, gets it down. But the Lions have just got numbers to the pack. They're circling now. They smell a bit of blood as the kick goes forward. Still can't get it out. Now it's the D's time to shine. Looking down the green direction. Has to wrestle his way to the front. Everyone couldn't quite get it, but it fell down to the path of Eames. Eames still going, wrapped up. Run to the contest is Corbett. And a bit of decorum as the umpire says, I'll take that. We've got a man down the centre, Jules.
Yeah, we have. I can't quite see who that is. I was watching the play, boys, but that'll become apparent shortly. So Surface with the stoppage inside their forward 50.
And it's eventually fed away. Well done there from Marsden, but it's going to be coming right back, you'd imagine. Good mark taken there from Jewel as there's a whistle and the play's going to be stopped. Now, I didn't quite see who it is, but the player was immediately grabbing his knee. And that's something you never want to see.
And what's happened here, boys, for the majority of this quarter, Palm Beach have got on top with the clearances. Totally dominating now with Crow there, doing the bulk of the work. Tyne's getting, Stevie Tyne is getting very busy amongst others. So they're giving the forwards a good look at it. And Surface, you could count on one hand how many times they've been forward in this second term.
And I'm really liking what Crows bring into the ruck contest. We know Jewel coming back from concussion. We've got Matthew Green there in the contest as well. But what Crow does is that the physicality, the big body, he really throws himself around. As soon as he gets the tap down, he'll go after that footy himself. Not that traditional ruckman. We'll let the young Rovers get to it as well. No, he'll go after that ball, and he's really throwing his weight around. I think it's just unnerving the Surface mids at the moment because they've got that extra big body coming after them. As well, the stretcher has now been levitated and have it off the ground. I think it's really important at this moment right now, Jules, that both the captains just pull their mobs in at the moment and just settle things down. Still a long way to play in this quarter, and there's only 5 points in it.
Yeah, it's expect the unexpected, isn't it, on grand final day? Any of these situations can arise, and that's where that leadership comes in. There's some kids out here playing their first grand final. The older heads will be getting around them and saying, just take a deep breath, you're doing well, this is what we need to keep doing.
That's certainly the case. So we'll go back towards the plate and be able to identify for you, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as possible who that player is. But it's something you absolutely do not want to see at any level of footy, and especially on such a day as big as this one. So nonetheless, it's going to be sent inside the forward 50 here for the Demons. Big pack of players. No mark taken, comes to the bottom of the pack. It's just going to be tied up. And umpire says, give it to me.
I found that interesting because Green just then decided to float his way to the front. He chose not to contest, instead chose to get front and centre. So he's staying down at the moment. I think he's going to try and differentiate his plan as he gets that kick out of the pack. Now Palmy under a bit of pressure, but they've got the numbers across their last line of defence. Now they can escape. It's Zach Harrison who takes it in the back pocket in front of the Palmy army. He's just going to settle things down. As I said, an injury can change so much in a game. It just breaks up the flow and momentum. So now Palm Beach, this looks like they're going to chip it around a little bit. It's Troutman, the playmaker. He's been busy and industrious this afternoon, and he's now going to have to get it going long down the line.
That he does towards half-back Crowd in a 1-on-2. Well done from Sam Jewell to rove his own. Well, tap down, a beautiful kick. No mark taken from Corbett. Harrison got the hand pass. Fraser, he kicked two in the opening term. Matulis tried to feed it out. Harrison goes again, so does Corbett. Harrison's tied up and then thrown to the ground. And umpire Sam Ward says, give it to me.
Yeah, so momentum's a funny thing, isn't it? We saw it, Surface have all of it in that first term, for the bulk of that first term, and things have shifted now in the Lions' favour, and the challenge is up for the Ds to reproduce what they did in that first term, come out with that energy and get things back on their terms.
Well, no one knows better than the man on my left here, Julian Van den Dries. So nearly played 20 minutes here in this second term. 5 points the margin to the D's. 6-2 plays 5-3 as the ball comes back in. Crow, front position, just gets the tap down. But it may fall to the advantage of the D's. No, sir. Now they can kick it out, but a lovely mark intercepted. It's Miles Jewell. Now it's probably too far out, so tries to get it going on the right foot. Bombs it long in the green direction. Can it be taken? Ball falls now to the front. It's Eames. Eames gets on the right boot towards Daniel Green. And they've 2-1'd him for the last 5 minutes or so. It's really starting to work out for the Lions.
So the Lions, through Harrison, go towards halfback. Beautiful kick. No mark taken though. It lets them in. McBurney couldn't take it. It's fed back eventually. Now the kick up towards the air. Fraser's under this. Good spoil there from McCanch. It bounces around Matulis. He got first use, but it was immediately tied up. And both sides just willing to call that a draw and go again.
Boys, just as we had that stoppage, I see McNevin trying to get himself off. More injury concerns for the Lions. Looked like he's dislocated a finger there, so they've sent him back. They'll try and get him off as soon as possible.
Well, ball comes out the D's way. It's falling to Keel. Keel just working away through the pack. Couldn't quite get it. LaFleur, he was down the fall of the ball. Now it's bounced out. 2 Demons. This looks like it could very well be deliberate. And it is. Had no other intention of finding the boundary there, the Lions. And now, I have a chance now. Surfers Paradise. Haven't scored since the Vanderwerken goal at the start of the quarter. So really need one just to try and gain a bit more momentum, and it's Kane forward, press hard against the boundary. It's going to be a tough shot looking into the sun. Sends it on its way. Yeah, goal umpire ran a little bit too far and gave away the result, just a minor score. So they go to 6-3, just one straight kick in at 6-3, 39 Surfers Paradise. They lead Palm Beach at 5-3, 33, 21 minutes played, Julian.
McNevin really favouring that handball. The trainer's just got to him now, but he's coming off. He's going to have that readjusted or put back in place, I think. So Nevin, they're down a key defender as well now, the Lions, so Surfers come centre field.
They certainly do. Haberfield of the Cassidy variety gets swamped by about 4 Lions. Goes again, did it nicely enough to at least force the contest. And it's going to be tied up. You just joined us. It's a fantastic crowd here this afternoon, all on the broadcast wing. The terraces below us are practically full. And it's outstanding to see as we see McNevin get his finger put back into place. Comes out. Derek couldn't get it. Prestergaard, ditto. McKenzie tackled. And it's going to be tied up.
There's plenty of feeling in this, boys. There's playing for keeps today. Crode and Cass Haberfield just clashed on Crode's way off. Any opportunity of players getting to crash or have that little advantage over their opponent, they're making the most of it today.
So I've got a blood rule just stopping play at the moment. A bit of claret just coming from the mouth of Zachy Harrison. So 2 off the ground now for the Lions. Just a little incapacitated as we look back down and see McNevin. Looks like he's getting the 2 fingers taped together, so I should have him out there pretty soon. So nothing too bad. Remember, already 1 down the Lions. Looks like a jarring knee injury in the middle. We'll get an idea on that very soon as well. We've played 22.5 minutes. Second term, Metricon Stadium, your venue. 2019 QAFL Grand Final. The tap came down courtesy of Sam Jewell. It's been a little bit quiet this afternoon, but it's working its way back in the contest as well, another stoppage right on centre wing.
Liam McNevin, the key defender for the Lions, so important to their setup. Coming back on now. Looks like he's just had that finger pop back into place, so no ill effects there. He'll be right ready to go.
And that is fantastic to see. Yellen hits Cornish pretty hard. He's then ridden and tackled there from Corbett. So this game, for a period of time, really opened up, and in the last 5 or 10 minutes is really starting to tighten once again. Of course, the Lions have won the last 2 QAFL premierships. They're looking for number 3, Rankin. And Harrison find a draw on that occasion. Eventually fed out there from Sam Jewell. Finds Scott eventually, who kicks him forward about 40 metres. Emblem got the bigger body size there on Dan Green, but Dan Green takes no prisoners. McKenzie, Emblem. Hand pass fed back now. A kick down the line from Conan towards a 1-on-4. No mark taken at the bottom of the pack there from Askey. Ford gets it away, sends it down the line, but it's all Palm Beach. It's basically kick to kick at the moment, like you're back in the schoolyard, fellas. The mark has been taken from Scott just behind the true wing position as he's got a player in the middle of the ground all on his own, and it looks like it's Eames, and he's taken the mark beautifully.
So Eames finally ends the game of force and backs, and he's got him out on the far side too. Hayden Keel, if he wants him, chooses now to go to that option, and Keel in a bit of space on the half-forward flank, just behind centre wing. So Keel chooses to play it on, just trying to dance around his man. He's got LaFleur waiting down there as well, kicks to a 2-on-1, and just a little bit too strong there, taken by Dirk taken by Dirk Conan, and that's the forward entry trouble that they've struggled with, Surfers.
Right idea there for the D's to change lanes and go to Eames. Important mark there too to secure possession, but it really opened the ground up.
It certainly did. So McNevin just took the kick. It's great to see him back on the ground. He looked like for a while there he was actually in quite a bit of strife, it must be said, as the kick from Jen Harrison towards half-back. Keel, been one of the best for the Demons in this opening half, sets it up. Oh, big contest. No mark taken from Thompson Smith, but he got the spoil nonetheless. The Lions, Keel, well, he's got it again. He's playing his own fantasy points game at the moment, but he's tied up. It'll be a throw-in. So, Jules, as we head towards half-time, how important is red time goals in a grand final like this when it's so tight?
Yeah, well, it's back to that momentum thing we spoke about earlier, isn't it? If you can get one going into half-time, it's just that buoyant feeling when you go in and sit down and listen to the coach. So, to answer your question, Riley, yeah, super important to get one with a minute or so to go. So here we go. Palm Beach get their hands on it.
Backing away now, but now they've turned it over. Finds it now into the path of Albie Jones. Jones gets it going forward, but it's all Lions back home. Just need a decent bounce for the Demons, give themselves a chance. Green runs his man down, but they've got numbers. Palm Beach, and they can escape. That man McNevin back onto the ground, gets onto the right foot and manages to keep it in. To the cheers of the Palmy Army, flying back to the pack with Presty up, it's bounced over the top. Askey can arrive, but he's beaten to the footy, and that was really good by Ford. Kicks over the top, and they could be out and away, the Demons.
They certainly can. Fraser sends it inboard. Good kick, very good kick. It found the target there of Hayden Keel about 55 metres out. Goes inside the forward 50. One-on-one contest. No mark taken from Corbett. Now Marsden, he's got a set of wheels. He breaks away. He goes short with the pass. Finds Derek. He can give the hand pass back or just hold up play. Let the troops go forward. He's done that very nicely. Now there's options on the outer side. Dawson, who kicked a fantastic snapping goal earlier, hand passes it back, finds his teammate in Zach Harrison, about 75 metres out, goes towards, well, it's all hell at the moment, but the mark has been dropped. There was Demons everywhere. Eventually Yelland, it's fed further off the hands. Rankin sets it up. Palm Beach have eyes on this. They should at least take it or force the contest. They do. Marsden did well. Now the kick inboard. Good kick. Cornish, Derek. Derek snaps to tie it up. He's missed again. Jesse Derek, 2 behinds.
So Surface are just lacking that connection, that last kick to hit a key forward inside their 50. You know, in finals, the big guys are so important for that bailout kick. At the moment, they're unable to connect deep 50, so they're winning a lot of the inside 50s, but they're unable to finish off that work.
So Brody Haverfield, the one to bring it out. Looks for Thompson Smith. The D's try and work around, but Askey, he's picked it there. Drops it down, low ball. Low ball finds Woolley.
We saw up the other end too, the kick, the leading target was Noah Corbin. He's probably not the leading target that Coach Bradmore wants coming out from the square. So Noah Corbin wants to get front and square of a Green, one of the Green boys perhaps. So
just trying to break now this holding pattern we've seen for a while. This to give the Lions a lead. Woolley, he's going to be kicking from about 35 metres. Gets it going the left, he's just chipped at it a bit. It's across the face in fact. Flying mark came from Anthony, couldn't take it, but they're not out of danger yet, the Demons. And it's gone across the line for a boundary throw-in. Deliberate was what they wanted. Deliberate is not what they got.
Not sure what happened there from Josh Woolley. Beautiful kick. I think he saw Anthony at the last corner of his eye and put it out in front, or was it a missed kick, Riley? What did you make of that?
I think it might have just been a mixed kick, Jules. I won't give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. Crowd wins it down. Rankin couldn't quite get it away. Fed back off hands. He's got a dangerous kick. McCann, well, he body lined it, tried to get it. There's a bit of push and shove. Bottom of the pack. Woolley lays the tackle. Burge, Derek from the pack sets it up. Rankin gets the spoil as it's escorted over the boundary. So one thing Surfers have done much better than they did 2 weeks ago is stay with the Lions in the first half. They really got blown out in the first 45 minutes of that game. They find themselves 5 points in front as we head toward 29 minutes second quarter.
Yeah, so here's Palm Beach again, set up as you can see. This is the game they want. They want that forward half game where they can lock it in there and give their forwards multiple chances. Anthony gets a soccering boot to that one.
Well, we might have a high tackle there as we saw the spectacular there from Anthony. So the D's need to escape and they can, but the boundary line has just beaten them. And crafty work there from Anthony, just needed a bit of a spark to shake things up. Use his body. We talked about him going into the ruck contest in the forward line to throw that body around, and he can create some real problems for Surfers Paradise. Not long to go now in this second term. Ball goes back in. Can they hit the lead? Anthony, we just talked about him then. And that's why he goes in that position. It may be out of bounds on the 4, but they're creating chances now, the Lions, and Surfers are under the pump. 29.5 minutes gone, second term, just 5 points the margin, Riley Star Rate.
So Paddy Rankin, as we wait for the football to come
No hurry.
back into play, of course. In under 16s, this is a smart tactic because there's no time on in that sort of league, so not the case here. Rankin towards half-back. Lions have the numbers at the contest. No mark taken. Well done from Jewel to force it. Vanderwerken, Jewel, Haberfield at the Cassidy variety. Vanderwerken, and that's out on the full. So the Lions will get the free. You reckon it'll be one of the last chances of this second quarter, as there's a bit of a conference, but it's actually going the Demons' way. So it must have been a kick that's come off the boot of the Lions, and it's going to be a free kick as Haberfield goes short, misses Vanderwerken. Well, that was a slip over, and it will be out of play as we've ticked over 30.
Yeah, just a little bit fortunate there because the D's, they couldn't hit the target. It was right there for them. They just went straight over the head. So as we get really close to half time, maybe a bit of fatigue in the legs so far. We'll find out very soon. Deep into red time here in this second term. Ball comes back in. It's going to be Matt Green to go at it. Shakes the tackle. Brought around 360. They managed to get it out. So one last roll of the dice for the Demons. It's down there as Eames. Kick over the back of the pack. LaFleur's running. LaFleur's still going. This could be his chance. Can he get a boot to it? Oh, the Frenchman's put it through the middle, but it's been touched. Calls for touch. The umpires are going to confer for the goal, possibly to LaFleur. Deep in discussions. It's touched. So a diving smother there on the goal line. And now back to a 1-goal game.
McNevin, I think the crowd told you what they thought of that. He goes short. I think the Lions will be pretty content all up to only go a goal down. The Demons really blew them out early. McKenzie towards the wing position. Spoiled from the bottom of the pack. Lions have the numbers. Hand pass over the top to Zach Harrison. Approach. He's wearing the Voldemort-like tape at the moment. Sent forward, Woolley. He did it nicely to take the mark and back in the pack. There are Lions everywhere inside the 50, and they are going to potentially go in all square. The mark has been paid in the forward pocket, and it's been taken by Jesse Derrick, who's kicked 2 behinds in this second quarter. But this is his easiest shot of the 3. He should be able to kick it from here.
Well, we saw the last couple of occasions, he just hasn't settled himself on his kicks for goal. There's been times where he could have taken another couple of steps, but this so important in the context of the game.
So Derek, to the wolf whistles, to the boos. The Surfers crowd to the right of your screen. The reaction will tell the story. He sets it on its way, and there you go! We are back to the status quo of the opening bounce. It is all square in the 2019 QAFL Grand Final, 6-4-40 apiece. This has been the game of the year so far. It's all you want in a grand final. I'm getting nervous. We're all getting excited in this commentary box. It's been a fantastic game of football, Jules.
12-point turnaround there, Riley. LaFleur's goal not given off the deck. Ball swings up the other way. All of a sudden, we get Palm Beach forwards. Haberfield had to leave Anthony to force the contest. Ball gets out the back, and they have a number of options and finish with a goal. So there's that momentum we spoke about of that goal in red time.
So we'll just run you through the goal kickers as well, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, for the Lions, 2 to Jack Anthony. 1 fantastic goal away. Jay Dawson singles rest of the way as well to Woolley. Jesse Derrick, who just kicked that goal on the siren, and Nicholas Crowley. Whilst for the Demons, 2 to Fraser, 1 to Dan Green, 1 to Daniel Vanderwerken, Albie Jones and Hayden Keel.
Well, this is what you watch the footy for. It's the QAFL Grand Final. It is 40 apiece. You say it's 0-0 on the other side of halftime. Well, that's what we've got right now. The 2 best sides of all year. Palm Beach, 6-4-40. Surfers Paradise, 6-4-40. We'll go to halftime, and we'll be back on the other side for an absolute rip snorter of a second half. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the 2019 QAFL Grand Final live from Metricon Stadium.